polygamy. I think a polygamy is a gift. It's not something that ungavela uyenze. I think it's a gift to me, that thing. I think abantu bayivele bayingenelela ngendlela bayingenelela ngayo. Yabo? Polygamy nje gift. And also it's a well structured thing. You cannot just say, hey, I want to have 3 wives. It's not something like that. It's like you will have this particular partner, you know. And I've realized also ngama polygamy lawa awakudala, even the age difference is quite large. Like yabo, because umakoti omncane has kufanele asize mhlawumbe kunokwenza ukuthi umakoti wakho oqala akasakwazi ukuthi akusatisfy empedeni, you know, or akasakwazi ukuyokha amanzi, or there kunama duties athize angasakhona ukwa performer, you know what I mean. Then ube nomakoti omncane that would be able to assist noma akasakwazi ukutravela now noma akasakwazi, you know. So it was a well structured stuff and he gift, and if he gift even umakoti wakho oqala akakunikezi lokho zana i problem, because my gift nakuyena yabo is we find that we totally accept the fact that there could be someone at home. Yabo? So I think a polygamy a corner, and if he gift I be problem, no one gets hurt. But if we ngenela we force ngoba you wanna be, then you get hurt. Also find ube nenyuka ke for the
yeah.
Na ngona nakudala nje nakudala you had to have inkomo esibayeni for you. Hayi story, this not the story yabo. You had to have inkomo as serious yabo. Nah you ufana ube nenyuka yangempela yabo. Ne stress futhi fana usithande kuyingane wakho doesn't makubuza abantu say uthi yazi I love stress. You know, like no chance, like I strive. Yabo, mang stress, I love stress. Yabo, yeah, then you gave it, no.
That's crazy, man. At the height of your career, when you were like, Zakes, baby, shake your bum. How much ass were you getting at that time? Huh? Must have been a lot, that's all.
Definitely.
Dude, he's singing about bums.
Twice, bum. He was getting it twice as much. Tell us, Zakes.
Hey, this guy's next.
Come on.
You know, and I'll say this, guys. You know this. I respect this platform that you guys have created. You know what I mean? Like, I respect this platform so much, Joe. I mean, I was looking at part of your interviews, stuff like after you invited my wife, so I got to see other interviews.
Oh, yes,
you know what I mean? Like,
you're now a chiller. We call that a chiller.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo, this platform, and see the numbers that you're enjoying. I'm like, yo, and every time your episode is aired, like it trends, like people engage with the content that were discussed. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker is really doing this thing. Like, you know what I mean? And platform like this, like how important they are for Africans. So I don't. That's why I'm don't want to sound serious. So I'm like, so in this platform, I'm talking about bums. You know, when I could talk about something that I think could move someone. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, and then don't get me wrong. Like, I like, because what made this platform is obviously part of those particular questions. You know. But ngiyacelela nje mina ngintwana yakamasho. Ngicela ukuthi ngingabi nawo lawo. You know, like ngikhulume about something ezinye izinto, you know, like because like earlier on to touch on what you asked me earlier on. Do you know how fucked up apartheid messed with us? Like, people don't understand. Like, but apartheid is gone. This motherfucking thing is not gone, man. It still lives with us till today. Like, there was no way. Why this guy made such a perfect 16? It's that thing, Joe. It messes you up that a brother that looks exactly like you will fight you in protecting a white person. True. You know, like you know. So how the system has made people ukuthi ingane ezincane zaselokishini zithi mina ngifuna ingane nje kuphela umuntu ubaba ayihambele. Like, how on earth would you say a statement like that? You say a statement like that when you just don't understand how messed up you are and how messed up that statement is. And probably people who are going to hear me say this, they're still going to attack me with the statement because they still don't understand how fucked up that system has made us, you know?
You just have to look at Black Twitter.
Yo, Joe. You know? And that thing is so sad because you think to yourself, you like, see, we have an issue in South Africa. As we're in this particular studio, a lot of cheating any time, and this interview might not continue. And that's our reality. We're in the middle of COVID. That's our reality, right? And you think to yourself, you're like, yo, man, we're going through a lot in South Africa, you know? And I wonder, Oguti, there was 500 billion, right?
Yeah.
That was spoken about by the president. And people were collected by Amahawks, right? And in this issue now. And I was saying to myself, isn't corruption in South Africa a pandemic? Like, not being emotional about it now. Let's not be emotional. Be like, let's just be serious and be like, guys, what happens if a great grandfather was enslaved?
Okay.
Yeah. And then a grandfather was colonized. And then a father lived through apartheid and then gave back to you. And then when we are a mayor, handling 1 billion, what happens to you?
Where do you even start?
In a system with all your cousins unemployed, what happens? How do you behave in a system like this?
I'll end up on I blew it.
Don't you think that maybe you think that something has to go, like everybody would behave the same? So is this corruption that we're experiencing right now something that is historic, pushes all our politicians to behave a certain way? Or it's just some abantu jabagangayo lapho? Or there's something else that says, yo, when after 5 years uphumile la ngekuphila ube nemali, so tata as much as possible.
Yeah.
Ubekele eceleni so that you live forever. You know? You know? And so when you have a situation like that, then if we appoint these mayors, appoint everybody else who are supposed to be handling public funds.
Yeah.
Aren't they supposed maybe to go and study financial literature
Definitely.
and understand that, and also being made about conscious, you know, and rebuild that consciousness. Ukuthi if you uthatha lo 5 rand, you uthathe you 5, most uthathe bebaningi, 2 toilets are not going to be built. Mase sebebaningi kakhulu, 4 houses are not going to be built. And then this is what happens, and this thing then is going to put pressure into the system and all of those things. You know what I mean? So that's the behavior. So we're hit by that. And then also when you look at also behaviors, is something that I always sometimes talk about. Today, as Africans, we brag about a lot of things. Like we brag about the stuff that we wear. You know, we brag about Dio, brag about LV, you brag about a lot of things.
Money.
And people judge. And some people will come in and judge, you know, like, so. But for me, excuse me, because I was very interested, you know, I'm still in a request of finding out the behavior, yabantu who are handling public funds. What happens to that particular person, because you grew up in the township and you know
the struggles.
Struggles.
Yeah.
Ngoba you know vele uthi if we cancela uba corrupt untshontshela abantu okhule nabo ukuthi kwenzakalani kwena ungabi nandaba, like, you know, so I'm still in a search of trying to understand them. But with this one, luckily I got a book, so I read the book. It's called, some people can go and read it. It's called Brainwash, you know. And Brainwash, they're also talking about our behavior when it's come as consumers, you know, as advertisers, how this behavior and how we're actually being programmed. This is the reason why I'm like, this interview, I'll be damn stupid if I could talk about BAMs than to talk about this. You know what I mean? Because I think with your platform, man, like we might as well just talk about this than to talk about something else. Now, amachita, so umuntu like, for instance, abantu they would judge someone who buys a BMW or a luxury car or go for room. It's stupid. But I know you. Hey, uthengile kuzani? Unaona vele. But thina abantu abamnyama as black people who are seeking for value. Isifo set sonke los make you now naleso sifo nami naso everybody else this is my sinesifo ukuthi we are seeking value. That's what we're seeking. You know, we're seeking value on our skin or on pigment because there's something that is out there that is not told in terms of like the pigment skin hierarchy. You know, like white people are on top, you know, Asians then second, then Africans abasezansi. You know, this is how the world is actually obviously, you know, picturing and perceiving, you know, this particular hierarchy, which you cannot touch. It's not there. You know, that's why you see white people going a capital in America. You know what I mean? Because your value, your skin pigment value isn't valued enough for it to be well respected. The system does not respect it. The economy does not respect it. The education does not respect it. The academia does not respect it. That's the whole thing that makes what we trade in the world does not respect the skin because you don't see those skin.
Your own clan,
anyways.
your own culture doesn't respect it.
Yeah. So now, so I want to tell people that I'm different than Saul. Because we are black, ne? But I want to tell another one who would know I'm different than so that I'm going to wear LV to say that I'm much more expensive than Saul. Then I'm going to drive a BMW to say, I'm having a tegis. So we are seeking that. Believe you me.
Black.
Yeah. Yeah. So believe me, if we can get that value without spending so much money, I will wear t-shirts. We'll see no need for us to go and queue. Go Gucci. We are there because we are seeking value.
And that's why Bill Gates and them,
they don't need, because they don't serve. A white guy will get the same treatment and value if I get kindi when Leon Fanui suit. You know what I mean? You know, so that's so why I would buy a BMW before I would buy a house? It's because I spend 10 hours in a BMW and I only spend 3 hours in my house. And I get You
can't carry the house around.
You can't carry the house around. Now I have a house. I have a house somewhere down here. Yeah. Estates, you know, or I have a house somewhere in a mid-range or Blue Valley Estate. I have a house there. And then Toyota test. Hey, for 10 hours, service with a big house. He out there says so to a 4 room or we bedroom BM it's all a young kinto. But me they out investing, but then I'm not enjoying my life because no one is seeing my house is seeing my house. So that's why we must wear our value and must drive our value everywhere we go. So that's how our behavior will be different. So a white guy might look at us and be like, these guys are stupid. They are spending to something editorial. No, man, I'm just buying my skin. I just want to be happy for 10 hours, for God damn it. I'm buying my 10 hours of happiness. That's why I'm investing a lot of money here. Because everywhere, that's what I want. No one says Jayam. Even girls don't look at me.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I belong. You know what I mean? But I have a house, somewhere, which is big. But if I invite these girls, they're like, yo, so when's that lap? Because they don't know that I have so many champagnes in my house. But they will go with the guy who has a BMW. Yeah. You know, now the house that I have. So that guy has more value than me. So why would I invest in a house than to invest in a car and feel good?
Shit, I never thought about it.
See, that's the thing. This is what we suffer from. You know, we suffer from that particular value. And that's our thing. So our behavior, so as much as we want to cast and want to judge people who are on Instagram about, you know, wearing Gucci, Louis Vuitton, think about it. They're not doing that thing because they're crazy. They just want to be valued. You know? So it's like, it's like now how much you wanna be valued? then you want to be valued more, then you will wear Louis Vuitton up bottom. Then if you want to be valued better, then then you'll be subtle with that thing.
What's your African dream?
You know, is when, you know, the day, Joe, we are able to control our own fortunes, which is going to be tough, you know, and the day we have value as Africans, because all this other behavior, iyona lento eyokubona as umntwana, you know, waselokishini, eyokwenza realize the day you value yourself, you know, une self love, you realize ukuthi I cannot say stuff like I want to have a kid anginandaba nobaba wakhe, because uyamvaluisha umntwana wakho ukuthi ufanele amazi ubaba wakhe. You know, you will value even anything that is coming out of your womb. But when you don't value yourself that much, you don't care, you just want to you are trapping umntwana into a system which is a bit chaotic, because the umntwana one day kuyothiwa muphi ubaba wakho wena, someone uzombuza umntwana muphi ubaba wakho wena, and that thing you don't know izomenzani lo mntwana. You know, and I say no mina ubaba ngimazi, ingane phela inandaba ubaba wakhe akamazi. You know, mina ingane ziyahlekana, ingane zincane ziphiyo, yabo buka mina ubaba wami ungithengele nangu ubaba wami ungithengele ice cream, and then wena ubaba wakho ukuthengelani, I mean anginawo ubaba, awunawo ubaba, and then they would laugh. And you don't understand what la mntwana imenzani leyo nto iyamshaya, but when you are happy, because that's all you wanted. But the day we value ourselves and we have self-love, we will not make those particular mistakes. Even we are not saying what you will force yourself to be in a relationship, but you will be present. You will understand, even co-parenting will be better, because umuntu wesifazane or umuntu wesilisa ngebalwe ngeingane ukuthi hey to get back at you, because uyobe evaluisha i-value umntwana wakho ukuthi in as much as we don't see ROI nobaba wakhe, but i-value yakhe is important, ubaba wakhe needs to be in his life, you know, like, so these are things that are so important to us, and this particular system apartheid ishaya yonke leyo into leyo, ishayile yayishaya. So that's how we have to go back. So we need psychologists, we need sociologists, we need philosophers, you know, which are going to study our mind. We go to post-apartheid, how are we behaving, how are we loving, how, and all these things, and then diagnose that and say, what then do you do for you to be able to reclaim your value back, you know, what you call the black consciousness, what Steve Vigo says, ngoba lento yona ezokwenza ukuthi uwazi ukuthi mawuse home affairs, you know, mawuse home affairs ulaphana usisi, you will not just shut when you think sakwi lunch ushiya queue in la ngoba, because you will understand ukuthi kunomuntu la uboleka imali okufanele aphindele emumva, and mayiphela ematekisi ngo5, that person might not be able to go back to Soweto ngoba by 6 o'clock amatekisi ayanyuka. So that consciousness, yona lento yokwenza ukuthi yeah no ayisayiniwe lento la, so go back and then come back tomorrow, you'll understand ukuthi oh lo muntu mhlambe le mali ayize ngayo la uyibolekile, how can I make sure ukuthi ngiyamsiza lo muntu njengoba la, because maybe kade emile la, you know. But because you forget, because your consciousness, you are sometimes my mali ngena, it removes you from mama realities. That's how uzotngelinye ilanga oh bona u2 rand, because you're so far removed, kunabantu abanganayo u2 rand. Yeah, so you're so far removed from our realities. Yabo, ingakho wena uzothi umuntu buya kusasa ngoba nawe bank ukushiya kwena it's no, you didn't say come back tomorrow, and you'll come back tomorrow, you'll forget that you have a car. Then when usebenza home affairs, then uzotshela abantu buya tomorrow, kanti the balances of scales are different. You were at the bank, you have money. That is home affairs. From a rich to a poor person is there. So you might be talking to the brokest person umthetho akabuya kusasa enganayo nokunayo imali yokubuya. So that's the thing, you know. So this is the issue that we're dealing with. So those sociologists, then they will help us in diagnosing us, what are the issues that we need. And then maybe we can read that. And then we say, practice this thing as much as possible. And then we'll be better Africans one time. You know? And we love each other.
Hectic, man. Did you ever end up seeing Tito Mboweni?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did see Tito Mboweni. We spoke about a lot of things, you know. And I think it's also like maybe like a because I never spoke about what we saw engakhuluma nango Tito, you know, because we have a follow-up meeting now, you know. It's gonna happen sometimes this year.
Wow.
Still waiting. But what I wanted to talk to Tito about, and when I spoke to him about was us as some Africans being able to participate in the financial sector.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for us, how then do we move from being trapped in debts and poverty? Because this is what happens. You have to. See, now we're enslaved by debts now.
Now more than ever because of COVID.
It's worse.
Now
So
it's
we are
worse.
enslaved by debt. So we all have these particular degrees, but we've got debts. Because utuqeda nje esikolweni. Utuqeda esikolweni ubu owa NSFAS to pay back. Ma NSFAS or either Edgas or Edcon because you were buthatha impahla laphana nge credit or ibhangi because maybe you were studying on credit. So this is isuka nje ebhandini no we are all. Then
And there's black tax as
now qeda lapho then you have to owe now because you have to take your family out of a certain situation but take a better house or maybe you have to renovate at home and then you have to buy a car. And then all of those things, So your peers, but they are quite far, And when you have maybe about 4, 5 to 6, 7 million that you have to invest, before you can start seeing. Now, after almost 7 million, when you look at it, probably you will make an amount of 7 million when you are maybe 59 years old from your age. So you're only able now to be free from debt when you are already 59 or 60 years old. You are in pension already, and then you live for 5 years and then you die. So you lived your whole life
In debt.
And it's a story of an African child. So it was an issue like how can we be able to participate in that particular space for us who is not be trapped in poverty, So a crowdfunding model is the model that I presented to the minister, with what can we do, especially to address the issue of student debts, I think right now UKZN, because I engage with the CFO of UKZN, just look at UKZN because I'm a student at UKZN. How can we be able to free every student that has been indebted institution? You must understand the institution has to survive at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The institution has to survive. So the institution really needs this money to survive. Because some lecturers, if you don't pay them, they're not going to come to school. You know what I mean? So that's why the institution would then force you as a student to go, no, you must pay. Because they themselves, they have to pay. I'm a lecturers. Yeah. So they are caught between the rock and the hard place. Yeah. So this is the issue. So now what then can we do as students? Because at the end of the day, there's something you have to do in not summer students. Because we spend a lot of money not buying my airtime.
Yeah.
If it's not totally mali, si in a certain kwisikhwama there are students that we can perhaps maybe my first years, maybe also. So it was that particular model, which one still needs to go back and chat about it. And I hope the day we go into market when we talk about crowdfunding and how do we, because the address is on student debt. I went there to speak about student debt.
Yeah.
And how can we maybe realize the free education?
That sounds like a podcast to me. I mean, I think that would be dope to have you and Tito talking about this and breaking it down.
Yeah, well, it would be beautiful to have, because I think it's a conversation that is important. It is a very important conversation for us to have, because I think we have to engage in terms of like, guys, win debts. How can we make sure that by the time we get our first checks, we're not in debt? We're starting our lives, and so we must make sure our tertiary funding is proper. Yeah, and I have some ideas which I presented, and I hope on our next meeting, when I present those things, then maybe there will be a will, and then the financial sector and the financial system, one will be able to have such initiatives that will benefit our students, because I just want to raise funds for students. I've contributed 10,000 or 20,000 or 200,000. It's not going to do anything. How many students are going to benefit from that? Nothing. I think in South Africa, young children, AKZN right now, they're above $1 billion. How much students are they owing more than a billion? More than $1 billion. now, so when you speak of free education, what you call, in South Africa, perhaps per annum, you need about maybe maybe need about a billion and a five for every first year students who are funded for free, like only just my first years across all the universities. So you need like a billion five, right? Those students will study, which therefore means probably we need about 6 billion or 6 billion per annum. You know, for first, second year and third year maybe to study. You know what I mean? Like you need some more or less something like that. It might be more, but at least you know go to Tambe more resilient eganja. Now 6 billion sibonile ngathi kukhona i-Global Citizen. Global Citizen raising more than 3 billion in one with just one festival.
Where's that money?
You know, no, it was a global fund. So it was not a South African fund. It was a global fund. But they managed to in 1 hour in whatever they managed to do that. So then you think to yourself, Fuguti, in South Africa we can even it was a raise 100 million, you know, but just how many students can start in 100 million?
Yeah.
So these are part of the things. Umuntu alokuzana mina engaging. So I mean I'm in a a fintech business on my side business is something that I'd never talk about, you know.
Yeah.
So I have a very huge appetite and a very interest when it comes to the finance and the mortgage and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then in terms of everything that you're saying, with all the challenges that an African black child faces, ne?
Yeah.
What do you think the role of a musician is in this day and age?
What a beautiful question, man. What a beautiful question.
I guess we're not talking about bombs anymore.
Yeah, man. You know, I think every generation we need to have a certain role that we play as Africans.
Yeah.
And I think currently, Tina, what we did in our generation, we acted on ownership.
Okay.
You know, we own our record companies,
Yes.
we own masters, we own publishing, we own, this is what we own. Now, it's not bizarre. Each generation, yabo, the legendary, yabo, Mama Mirema, Keba, and Ladies People, Mambazos, they were signed by majors.
Okay.
But our generation were not signed by majors, you know. And I think in the next generation, it's a generation of ownership. Now, all these particular platforms, Spotify, iTunes, they are not 10 years old. They're less than that. And Avura right in front of us. And Tina see our promoters, I'm even talking about them right now.
Yeah.
You know, we're promoting them on our platforms for free.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they are creating their platforms using our own products
Content.
and content. And I think the role of musician right now is to say, how can we be able to own our streaming services? Our own. Like, how can you own now means? We own our content. Now, how can you own means of trade? So I think the next step is means of trade now. Because the whole value chain, you have to own it at the end of the day. Like, the whole value chain, we have to own. Because at the end of the day, like, the digital shops are the ones who are taking decision on your content with how much they are selling.
Yeah.
You know, and they're the ones with the metadata. They're the ones who they can tell you that no, you have 1 million streams. How do you know? Probably you had 1 billion. How do you know? Well, now you think to yourself you have 100
'Cause that's what it says.
100,000 subscribers. That's what it says. How do you know? You know what I mean? So I think the day we need to own a value chain. You know, the day in South Africa, not saying where I can phone Africans in the whole value chain. Nkuluma with an executive of a record company, I speak to an African person. I speak to head of music of a certain content, whatever, I speak to an African. I speak to head of channel somewhere, I speak to an African. They are not working, they are owning it. Then yabona ukuthi nje uTwitter uTwitter kaSol lethi ngifonela uSol kaSol kunale out today. There's this one guy, man, this white guy, he always talk about Africans ngendlela engekho right. Mute man. This like what they do to us. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm mute because you know what they did to this guy who used to get married to Maria Carey. What's this guy?
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon. Well, he said one thing wrong about the Jews.
Yeah. Gone.
And if you can say something wrong about the Jews here, now you never know. I'm saying, but that's the power. I think that's the role that in which we need to go to. But we need to forgive ourselves. Maybe we just need to collect enough content because we have to collect enough content for us so that our kids, they have content to then create platforms and be like, oh, no stager, I'm a piano, Allah. In this podcast, they're not gonna find them in any of these digital shops except this African digital shop. You know what I mean? And then from then they will create new content. Maybe for us, let's just because maybe at this stage to create our own 2A. It's like it's what I feel. I feel like at the stage people would say, hey, we need a black bank. And I know we do need a black bank, but I think we're not a generation, Tina, that can open a bank because we are not bankable. We don't have enough money. Tina ifaka namhlanje. Awuphela 30 days isakhona. So it's an issue of siba bankable. So maybe Tina, what you need to do is to collect enough capital so that ingane zethu Z5, they're able to raise 40 million. They said Z5. No, I can raise that, Then they can raise it and they can open their own bank because if you have 40 million, then you can be able to get a commercial license. So who's an African person of 40 million right now? But we have to be able to create to raise imali kanjalo that our kids they bangahlala with 10 million bangawenzi lutho so they can open the bank bawufake nje lapha as part of the license. Yeah, I know we're holding the license with this money because they can play with ngale enye. Maybe it's with that generation, maybe we need to be venture capitalists, then our kids, then they could own those things. But they're saying it's the step. They couldn't open their own record labels then because their struggle was different. But right now we're opening our own record label and stuff like that. So I think each and every generation have that particular role that they need to play.
You caught some heat with the recent tweet about load shedding and how it caused some COVID patients to pass away. What happened there?
Excuse me. And I think it's also it's the reality. Lento fana nasekasi mfethu yabona ikasi maze ngithathe ngikise somewhere, let's say kwelinye nje ikasi uthi wena uyazi khona imoto eyidrivayo yazi bangakleka what uthi khona imoto eyidrivayo iphake unamanga nomjita. You know what I mean? So for me that thing is like, oh man, cause ngikhule lokishini and that's how it then I get it, because when umuntu uthi ventilation more good when ventilation we told esibhedlela, you will think hospital. That's what you would think. You don't know they are home ventilators. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So now, for me, going back and be like, but home ventilators have 2 hours. But 2-3 hours. And then you're going to be like, but who cares who paid it for 5 hours yesterday? You know what I mean? Like, now we have back and forth. So for me, in Kumbuzikas, I was like, that's make a salikas, as well. But the other thing I asked, like, so my following tweet was like, I understand the go to where.
What happened?
Like, no good to understand. I said, which is happening. I mean, this week, these people that I'm talking about, they are getting buried. Like Wednesday, I think it's Friday, two of those people, and then Saturday, the last one. Abantu, people passed on. And this last one is a phenomenon ushonelo uma wake emlaz, home ventilation, guess what phela. So because hey man, tell Zakes, with the time ungifonela Zakes, I was up and down looking for the generator. Because i-audit vethu lishonile. So ngifonela ntamama because mina bengimfona ngithi ngifuna ucheck i-audit njani. So ntamama uyangifonela uthi mfethu yazi ngeke mina ungifonele mfethu yazi bengisahupana generator mncane i-audit livayile mfethu kuvele waphela load shedding mfethu kuvele waphela ugesi mfethu ashaya load shedding. Ngathi ngithi ngakathi ufona mfethu bengisaqashala zi generator. Now this is the 4th person now. Yabo? same story of generator. Yabo, of load shedding. Then I go. I'm like, can we at least deal with one pandemic?
Yeah.
Yabo, COVID, not now as load shedding. Yabo. Now instead of about baggage, sefagi pressure or Eskom. Then after Zakes I call him now, ventilators can kick in, whatever. hey, the team of experts. Suddenly I'm like, yo, and sekhohliwe ukuthi kushona abantu la. You know what I mean? La so fanele manje mina songenzani? Ngibuye manje ngiyobuza mina ngibuye back manje hey manje ngitshela uthi yami manje i-audit so wena kahle ufuna i-generator uyifune for how long? You get me? So I was like, no man, I think my next tweet was like, I understand that we have different experiences in life. And oftentimes when you don't know something, you would dismiss it as lies or upset or crazy. That's what you do because
instead of wanting to learn.
Because you don't know. So for me, in going back and explaining it now, then ngabona it's okay. Now ngoba ngiphume lokishini, I understand vele uma mncane wami angakhuluma ngeventilator okamasha. Ngikuma mncane wami isibhedlela i-ventilator i-ventilator uyithola esibhedlela yabo i-nebulizer uyithola everything isesibhedlela lento ukuthi
there's a home ventilator
because there's a home ventilator nanokuthi kunama companies now uma une covid abeza ne-system bazokuzanina bakwenzele leyo nto leyo kwakho because ibhedlela igcwele. Now imagine explaining that to people who no guys because now i-covid ibhedlela seyigcwele. What now is happening, there are some of amanye companies who are taking ventilators at home, but you have to pay mama medical aid kodwa ayivuma, you have to have medical aid for you to qualify for that, you know, like all of those things, you know. But you understand ukuthi say to someone enkandla, and I mean not disrespect because what's enkandla, yabo, say to anybody else in the way which is not well developed, and be like kunemonto driver engayipaka la awahle kuzulala lalela bit, you know. So for me it was like I get it. I get people when they speak about these things, this is what they think. So that's why everybody asks, which hospital is that? Ible hospital, because to them when you speak ventilation, hospital.
And you gain nothing from lying about death.
I mean, what am I gaining from lying about death? Like, what am I gaining? And in them people are gonna. And there was a tweet after that. Umuntu bese sibhedlela akethi uphelile ugesi la. You know, and in Durban, from now, like 2 weeks ago, what's the special thing? I'm gonna remember it. 10 people died because of load shedding. 10, 6 ICU, 4 a normal ward. You know. I think Fisher, something like that.
Have you ever gotten COVID?
I don't know, but maybe. Because I think my wife had COVID, because waba ne short breath nje engekho nemnando wavuka ngo 2 AM, I just wanna breathe. So ngabiza isibhedlela, ngabiza i-ambulance. Yeah, and then she was taken to hospital, bamcheck, but ama results abo athi negative. But she couldn't breathe for at least 4 days.
Have you invested? What do you think is happening with COVID? You know, there's a lot of conspiracies out there. What do you think?
Excuse me. Mina I really think ukuthi COVID ikhona yababulala naba abantu be COVID ikhona yababulala abantu ngiyabona, you know. But I'm still confused around the fact that, you know, amanye African countries akhona la. See, this is what I see. This is what I know.
Yeah.
Yabo? Like African countries, like you go to Namibia, you hear a story, like you go to Namibia, you go to let's say Cote d'Ivoire and all those things. you know, once ngathi abantu la abashoni manje laba yabo abantu abashoni South Africa sashona, and then you hear, because you cannot you can't stop like listening to this thing, and then you hear to Namibia then to abaxoshe a World Health Organization, and then emva lokho then they were better, you know, and then you hear good now in South Africa. In South Africa, we were fine with the COVID, and then there was
seconds 3.
Then we were fine, like we were not dying, and then there was and then the World Organization is here as EPSI is South Africa, and then you now so you cannot like okay,
what you mean.
Yeah, so okay lama countries ayikho the organization and our njengathi. So but see, these are things, but in short, these are conspiracy theories. So Mbethi, I don't know what to think about this. Here's what I will tell you. Ukuthi abantu bakithi bayafa mfethu, and government awumeka kancane ngendaba load shedding. That's what I want to say. Abantu bakithi bayafa, government akameka kancane load shedding. Government sesiprovelile ukuthi load shedding angangayenza methanda. Basiprovela basitshela but there's not going to be load shedding. Bingenzeki ngempela, like sicela lokho, sicela whatever abasuke beyenzile ukuthi for them to make that statement, sicela bakwenze mfethu until at least COVID sesine vaccine and until then mfethu then sibe lokuzana. But nakhona lo vaccine I so wish that particular vaccine ibe engajabula kakhulu mase siqhamuke eAfrica or ama-African scientists kuba yiwona nje I approve ukuthi I learn no le vaccine ngile yile ama-Africans. Ngiyacela ukuthi ngingaprovelwa i-scientist yase Asia or yase Europe or yase US ngevaccine. Ngicela ukuprovelwa ilo efana nami nje naye mhlambe ijove leyo scientist futhi nje mase mhlambe bese kujova mhlambe ama-politicians first yabona kujova ama-politicians wonke, jove nemndeni yawo ama-politicians, then bese ngoba vele thina siyalidwa vele ama-politicians have to lead us from the front.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they have to lead, then bese siyaqhamuka-ke thina-ke ekugcineni ngoba vele futhi namathenda yabo afika kuqala vele nebudget ifika kuqala zonke yabona qale bonke yabona iye nje ngalento ukuthi bonke abantu abathola ibudget kuqala baqale bona bese thina kugcine nje ngathi yabo nje that kamnandi.
I love it, man. Zakes, before you go, man, as a husband, as a DJ, what do you think about the fresh and
as
euphonic,
an artist?
Yeah, as an artist as well.
Yeah,
fresh and euphonic allegations, the rape allegations.
You know, man, Mekchi, I really don't wanna have an opinion around that. You know,
but it's a social issue.
I know. It's a social issue. You know, and why I wouldn't have an opinion about that because it's something that I don't want to think about it, and I didn't take it to be like yo, and it's something that I need to think about. It's something that I need to think about, and something that I need. I mean, I'm part of the Act Now group. You know, so I advocate for children and women abuse and rape in South Africa is such a pandemic. Yeah. It is a huge one, you know what I mean, and I think justice needs to be served, you know, like I think justice needs to be served, and I mean I hope things like this we don't see them. Like it will show like isn't unless we don't see them, like they don't things like this don't exist like at all. Like nje umuntu wesifazane angakafile nje ukuthi yena ulokuzana mhlambo ulalwe ngaye ngendlela engekho right. I mean mfethu abantu besifazane I think abantu besifazane are sensitive, and I think we need to look after them and we need to take care of them the way we need to take care of them. So Tina as artists in this industry, we have to think about this and we have to engage our colleagues around the issues like this. So that's it is the stuff that Moon still needs to engage with, you know, and engage with and have a constructive opinion around it. Yeah.
I was chatting to Bobster the other day. You know Bobster?
Yeah, Bobster.
Kalau.
Kalau.
You're saying we're gonna go into a time now because it's so bad because of COVID and artists.
Yeah.
Where artists are gonna start selling their masters. Do you think that might happen?
Of course.
Ne.
Of course.
Ne.
Of course. Like it's a reset. You know, some will start selling their cars, and some will start selling their houses, and others will sell their masters, and others will sell their publishing.
How much would you say the Zakes Bantwini catalog is worth?
My one?
Yes.
You have to scale it up. Bro, you have to scale it up. Yeah. Like you have to scale it up. But I can tell you this for sure, I'm not going to sell any of my masters. I'm not going to sell. I took a conscious decision. I will never sell non-removable products that I've bought and my publishing. Those things will be sold by my kids. Yeah. Everything that I'm buying, I'm accumulating for them. I want them to have enough capital. I don't want any of my kids to say, hey, I need to go to the bank to borrow money. I want them to use everything that Ubaba has INZ to have money and for them to invest in what they want to do. You know what I mean? So I'll see what I can do. I'll make sure I don't sell those things.
Yeah.
Speaking of family, there was a guy, an old man, who came forward and he claimed to be your real father.
Oh, that loser.
Oh, ouch. So, okay,
Man.
You didn't take it serious.
Nah, man, I didn't take it serious. I didn't take it serious. Come on, man.
Yeah. What was that? I didn't know about the story.
I like, how can you give back to Zakes Bantwini? Come on. You know? I have a dad, man.
And he insisted. He said he would pay for the DNA testing. Is that show? Yeah, bruh.
When was the show? Well, you came to the show?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, you like show what? Or something like that.
They coming to knock, eh?
Man, no, man. I don't take those things seriously, man. Like, really, man. Like, hey, Joe, I don't take those things seriously. Oh, come on, you don't say, Joe.
Yeah. And it's about to happen in Zakes, dog.
Yeah. You know come on, man. Like, how can you give back to Zakes Bantwini? I mean, no, Bob. I mean, like, I have a dad. Who are you? Like, come on, man.
In closing, Zakes, man, what do you want to be remembered as, man, when it's all said and done?
You know, hey, man, I mean, like a guy, man, who really, you know, I mean, like that guy who really changed a lot of things, like, you know.
I'm getting Steve Biko vibes, change the
perception.
Yeah, definitely.
So like a perception around Africans and a perception around, like, I'm like, you know, like, you must live the world better than how you found it. I'm Gigleo group. Even in my family, I was like, this thing of poverty, I'm a man, you know, it ends with me. Everybody younger than me, they will not experience this thing. Anybody older than me, you guys good. But there's no one who's younger than me at home and funding alone. Like, I don't want anybody to go out funding alone. You know?
But isn't that
everybody,
a lot of
like,
pressure?
I know. And you must understand, you have to take a decision sometime, because if behavior, you know, if behavior, to yasemakasi and how black tax is, it's not good people buy a tunnel. I mean, Mekji, I'll tell you this now. You seldom ever find someone successful bona bonke abamnyama. It's like, you're the only one who's this successful. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Ekaya, I'm the only one. Well, my younger brother is coming.
I want to call this success, man.
No, in comparison. No, it's relative. That's why I'm saying, who's this? I said that this is important. That prefix of this is important. Because that this, it means it's relative. You know, like, yeah. So, ngagama parameters of success. I said home. I said kagin. I'm not, you know, like, so I'm at home, yes. My younger brother is, but at home, most of African guys, they're probably the only one. Even us in the industry, we always break apart the first one, the only one. And I wish it would get to a point where we are never the only ones and the first ones. You know what I mean? So, but why is that? Because when you think it's system, it's systematic. Be successful, no.
It's designed.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, my elder brother is a chemical engineer.
Wow.
You know, but I told him until two years ago. Like, he has an honors in chemical engineering. kuthiwa abantu eyonjinela bawuswela umsebenzi. My elder brother graduated in 2003 2004 akaza uthola umsebenzi until 2016 or 2018. Right?
Yeah.
Now that's like 14 years later. Ne? My younger sister Onglamayo, you know, she studied retail management. She's unemployed. Then my younger brother did journalism. You know, he's at Kakas FM. He's doing very well. You know, but we you know, with my mom, she did everything that she could do.
Yeah.
But still, system I can absorb. The well-learned guy in my siblings, my brother, is the one who does not have a lot of money than me. But he's well-learned. He's ready. So people but ready. You know another thing you show earlier on, it's work hard, because you just need white people and other races, they open the doors for people who look like them. So that's how we have to create our own. Like that's why yes, we have to effort and be ready, but at the end of the day, abantu abamnyama bayeka man ukuvala ama opportunities. Umuntu aloke vale. That's why I have a love-hate relationship with my motivational speakers, because they will motivate you knowing exactly what they are in that particular platform. Naba bafika ngama merits wabo. Sometimes, you know what I mean? You know, Biggie, Puffy opened the door for Biggie. You know what I mean? And then because when this white guy, Whitney,
I forgot him.
That white guy opened the door for Puffy. So Puffy opened the door. So you come here,
Dr. Dre and
open the door. Dr. Dre opened the door for Snoop, and opened the door for Eminem, and Eminem the door for 50 cents, and all the sudden they opened the door. You come here in South Africa. Oskit opened the door for DJ Tira.
So many.
Tira opened the door. But they should open the door for DJ Tira. Tira opened the door for Big Nas. You know? Big Nas now, Mampinch opened the door for Babes Otum. Now you're gonna see this thing. I opened the door for El Vovo. Opened the door for DJ Mellon. You know what I mean? Like people like opening the door. So at the end of the day, Mike Masong and you open the door for me. You know what I mean? Like so you see this thing. So it's about someone opening the door for you to walk in. Work hard to get to that particular space, but someone has to just open, man. Someone when because I had the story when you were fired. Someone opened the door for you by saying, "Hey, man, I can help you out."
Oh, yes.
With these cameras. Someone.
Yes,
that person that opened the door for you. Yes. So now, hey, you must work hard and have a podcast. Work hard. When you know, now someone opened the door for you. 100%. So why do you have to tell people who, you know, like they have to work hard? Like, yes, we are working hard. Abantu abamnyama abantu ama South Africans are lazy. It's what? South Africans are lazy. Ngazongitshela mina ngaza amatekisi ngo4 South Africa is out. Umchita ngo4 is up. Kunabo mama abapusha amatroller 4:30 ekuseni abahlala ama South Africans now. Who South Africans are you talking about? Lawo are lazy. I think people who are failing in South Africa, it's the learned ones. You know, it's because we
the woke ones.
Yeah, the woke ones. Because we even sign our policies that are unable to absorb Africans. E.g., no, for you to be able to get to this particular tender, your company should at least make 20 million. Company is 20 million per annum. But when you're like, no, this tender will be awarded to companies who are making 20 million per annum. How many black companies that make 20 million per annum? Or for you to get this license, you have to have at least 15 million. Also, Faranje Bank on Nzilu. 15 million on your stage. But athatha banama policies athatha itsina abantu abamnyama hlela lapha boardroom, because right now is African government, man. Everybody's there. Ngokungitshotha belungu bathatha lama policies. Everything that is a policy is from government, and our government is black, and people are there, majority of them are black. Ibona futhi abasana lama decisions. Then sokhala sizothi hey, that's why it's systematically kunento wrong ngathi. We must unlock it, Joe. Cause ukusho wena I know I would do a podcast ebusuku kuphela, you know, because I'm busy. Ubani ozofika ebusuku kuphela abantu abanayo imali. Your crew like shuthela, because when okay ama-artists ozo interview anayo imoto, but i-crew like shuthelayo ihlale Soweto or ihlala kama izonza igibela kanjani ebusuku. Wena usuqedile usufa say cool ungena emotweni pa sebemile manje bona la abasazi bazokwenza njani.
Abanayo izimoto mara.
Do you get me?
I get you.
I'm making an example. I'm making an example of decisions that we take and not thinking about people who are feeding that particular dream. Yeah, man.
And without them, we can't shoot.
Without them, you can't shoot. And then, sometimes you think, because soon as my sponsors says, you know what, let me rather get people who are going to shoot, then who are those? White people?
White people.
Then
have you seen what they do with complexes?
Yeah.
So they get a loan, obviously.
Yeah.
Get a complex. Tenants, majority, because we are a majority of black people
who
pay off back that loan. But they also give out the tenders for the rubbish bin, the electricity to their own, the security guards.
Yeah. Even the locksmith.
Yeah.
They will say, here's a preferred locksmith for this complex. Yeah. You don't call any other locksmith.
Now with complexes, you have to use a certain app for electricity.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't use anyone else.
That's their model. That's their model. But man, follow me. We'll be launching something very interesting with regards to that. So for anyone that wants to invest in terms of when you want to build I'm a backroom houses and stuff like that. I mean, we have a platform where we loan people between 60,000 and 2 million. You go to our platform. It's called Black Pay. You go there. And,
it's a new thing. Ne?
It's a new thing. So I mean, when you want to build now, I mean, it's live now. When you have that and you have everything that you need, we can loan you money like when you read, and then you can build your own, and you can have your own tenants, and you can have your own money. Wow. We're doing that for our African people.
I'll come bring
Black Pay, yeah?
I'll come bring the rubbish bin tender there. I'll come clean.
Well, it's not for us. Those people who are building, then they will be the ones who are going to give you that. Yeah. I think for us, we are creating like ownership and not because AMA banks, they don't want to invest in my location, and there are so many property owners in my location and people who wants to play in that particular space. But if they go to the bank, they don't want to invest there. Anything that we want to invest. But the question is high risk how? Because when you look at the insurance, like let's look at the insurance itself. The insurance, when you start location, insurance is high. But suburb, insurance is low. But
in the suburbs.
So you're high risk. Where is high risk?
You more than
high risk.
You're actually safer in the hood
with your car. But which therefore means abasema hood, they are paying for abantu abasema suburbs.
Oh shit! Yes, to balance.
Yeah.
Fuck sakes, please repeat that platform again.
Yeah, no, it's Black Pay. So go
Black
to
Pay.
www.blackpay.co.za. When we loan between 60,000 and 2 million. When you want more than that, then we have to engage even more.
Yeah.
But we are willing. It's a platform that looks at developing a cars. So if you know that you have a land and you want to develop. You have a land that you want to develop, and you have a plan when you want to develop. You don't even have to know a lot of things when you have that thing, but you just need to own. I think the prerequisite, at least you need to own it.
Yeah.
When you own something, I suggest that you talk to us. When you have a title deed and auction right now, but you know which you've got space and you can build at least 4 bedrooms. I think we are your people. Talk to us. We'll help you out.
Fuck, man. So, you got anything you want to ask?
No.
I started off by saying that I want to speak to Zakele, not Zakes.
Yeah.
And I think we spoke to Zakele today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Like the shit that you're dropping. It's for me, it's nice to hear someone who's influential like you saying this because there's power in numbers, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we have more Zakes who are preaching this about being united and putting on other African people and just us as a nation, dog.
Yeah.
That's when we'll the better it will be.
Of course,
we can't rely on the government. The government have proven, they can't do shit for us.
Of course. Actually, maybe government want us to be poor so that we keep voting for them. You know what I mean? And another thing is that we cannot treat politics as a soccer game. Yabo? Politics ungayisupport njengebhola. Like don't support politics njengebhola. Politics is not ibhola jo. Ukuthi mina ngakhule ekhaya support iPirates. iPirates nam we're not like that. Politics changes. Leaders change. You know what I mean? Like because what will make us be able to have people accountable when we vote right people. And when someone know ukuthi ngekwenze ukuthi you still gonna vote for them, even bengakudeliveli, they will always bullshit you. You know what I mean? But when you tell them what I might vote someone else, if ungangenzeli into efanele ngiyenze, then they will wake up. So for our government to wake up, asiye nge-load shedding, we need to threaten government wethu sithi yabona wena noma ukwenza nje uyeza u2024. And when we say that, bazosilalela yabona. And I hate the fact that fanele uzuye estradini eSouth Africa for people to listen to you. Ushisa library le mali fanele ithathe manje futhi ebenicomplaina ngayo nithi nina nifuna ama toilet nishisa library se manje inesikole, then leyo mali ebefanele sefanele iphuma imali yoqala ulungisa isikole eqala before ilungisa ama toilets. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then bese futhi ngathi yolungisa isikole, and then futhi iyadliwa khona oyidlayo le like sidale problem. So nje mfethu asiyekeni bantu abamnyama ukuthi support ipolitiki as if support ibhola. Yabo, we just need to be loyal to our soccer team, but anything else that speaks to our livelihood, Joe, we have to change with what is happening right now.
What do you think is worse, music or politics?
What I think is worse, politics is worse, Joe.
Nah.
Yeah, no. Politics is worse. And this is the thing. Like, everybody can be a musician and everybody can be a politician. And whoever and a politician who take offense of what I'm saying right now, you're really not a politician. Because I'm a musician now I'm a musician now, I'm a musician, because a real politician would understand ukuthi, and a real politician ngeke blame uma support another organization, then ngeke blame because he's understand ukuthi okay, maybe my manifesto wasn't good enough, you know. Maybe my service delivery wasn't good enough. Maybe maybe the way I was engaging with these particular people, I wasn't talking to them.
How do I improve?
How do I improve? But a politician ongene khona ngobefuna imali uzocasuka uzoneteza uthi usupport yokanati yabona lo ivale ne podcast yakhe the day singena ubona umuntu yangena athole ilokuzani isikhundla lapha eyikhasa bese sithi singayivala kanjani into kaMacchida lethiwa no, it's above us, it's YouTube. bese frustrated athi hayi bese mebona ukuthi ya frustrated ukuthi akukhona ukuyivala bese sithi okay, wonke umuntu oyaku Macchida podcast ngaphile nimniki 10.
Exactly.
Ubona ungasathola ama guest.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But because the umuntu acasukela ukuthi you know what I mean? Like that's how it is, man. Like at the end of the day we'll converge. I remember this one time I was speaking to Juju with Julius Malema. So I'm giving him a call. I'm like, yo, hey Juju, hey, it's like yo, Zakes, get him in. Hey, no man, before EFF, it's hey no man, hey Juju, please don't open the organization. So it's like, no man, Zakes man, no, we're fighting for the same thing. We'll converge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's about Africans. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to have a problem with whoever is leading. You know why we have a problem? It's because we know some are not Africans as they are supposed to be. Because if everybody we knew, it didn't matter. Be it EFF, IFP, ANC, whoever pet except the JTA. Yeah, but young twin, what you pet? Then you'll say, your border law. If it's careful, that's not too corner about umfethu like, is it a white person? No, it's white. Then we fine.
Yeah.
Akana nkinga ukuthi uyi-Freedom Front Plus noma uyi-DA noma akana uthi is it a white person? No, it's white. Then we fine. Don't worry, we fine, because they know they got each other. Thina why sinenkinga kanje ngoba we know we don't have each other. Sinalo nkinga. That's why we need to make sure ukuthi it's not only just African lapha, fanele be African yethu. But I think we have to get to a point where any African. Yeah. But why we're gonna get to that point is the point that I ngikutshela yona earlier on, the day our basic education is able to breathe people abazo change this particular narrative. Yabo? But if education system yet, because it starts there. If education system yet, basic education system just it wants to create mediocre. You know? That's what it's going to be. We'll always be mediocre. We'll always serve white people, because the education system wants to wants to condition that. And then kids that went to private schools will always be bossing abantu abaphuma who are disadvantaged. That's the system would be like that. It will be maintained now by Africans. Verwoerd has a PhD in sociology and psychology, and then he did a year of philosophy, and then he was a journalist for 4 years, a head of editor. He was an editor for 4 years, and then he became a president, and then he created the Group Areas Act. You know, that's so you understand. That's the president who did that. Who today, Verwoerd, even Stellenbosch University is still regarded as one of the top students in sociology. And so sociology speaks to the society. Psychology speaks to the mind. Philosophy speaks to something that it's always about people's mind, how we think. So that's why he knew what kind of a system. That's why it was fundisa amakhwaki. Yabo wasifundisa whatever wasifundisa sona ibantu education wasifundisa nothing saphuma ukrema iqoqo ukuthi yini nani ngilisebenzisa phi iqoqo nekhwaki ngoba ngingaze ngingene nje eboardroom kuthiwa hey uyalazi ikhwaki angazi lutho kodwa ngayifunda leyo nto and I will fail think ukuthi ngiyislima because ikhwaki angilazi hey bafethu yes ekudlaliwe kadla but anyways you know what I mean like yeah, so that's the person who created the system. Now a person who needs to reverse the system needs to think like that guy and say, how do we reverse the system? And it has to go there to basic education cause there onto le ngothi wonke umuntu owafunda ibantu education ngizoyikhuluma ngesiZulu ngoba ngifuna abelungu bayizwe whoever ozointerpretela umlungu okwazi ukuthi vele umdayisi anyways you know abona ukuyibona umuntu those who are born in the 80s abantu abazalwa ngo-19 abafunda ebantwini abamnyama khona lento nje mfethu khona kufanele ube nalo khona lo fuseko kufanele ube nawo first kodwa nje automatically umlungu khona nokumthobela nje umlungu mfethu abantu who were born in the 80s and study abantu education it's automatic iyakubamba nje mafuna umlungu ngathi kwazi ukuthi umlungu are you okay say to bese hayi fusek manje umlungu wani like but there's that fusek thing eqala yenze but otherwise mongekho ubona ukuthi no you can sit here kade khona umuntu omdala omnyama ngamhlalisi la kunaleyo nto which therefore means the ento was implanted dala into fanele sicheck diamond indaba belungu nje masi thina sazalwa ngama-80s sifuna sibenze babe comfortable sinalento yokufuna benze babe comfortable
and this generation doesn't give a fuck
and it's an education and wonke umuntu okhonqonzo uzoyazi lento abafunda when you are above 35 lento ngikhuluma ngayo mawufunde abantu abamnyama yazi lento ukuthi kunalento ukufuna nje ukwenza umlungu nje abe comfortable and make comfortable you right nje bese uba nofuseke bese xa fuseke bese kuba futhi ugcina mhlawumbe uthi usu more aggressive ke manje ngoba so we are not normal nje yabo in 3 years so wifi bayifaka kwi-basic education nathi ifanele siyifake lapha ezantsi kwi-basic education lapha ezantsi ingane ukuthi yabona the day usebenza wasebenzela noma yiphi company a person mfethu omoya nomnakekele ulofana nawe ngendlela systematic nje uyabona uyayibonela kuyobe ku-automatic it will be automatic ukuthi uyothi uhlele endlini kungena ama-CVs uthi ubuka ama-CVs uthi uphumlani bando okay hayi le CV yothi ngizobe ngiyibuka Jane okay ngibona because that's what happens when my recruiter agent and Janet okay it's Maurice from Riebeck okay this is shortlisting I just need only 4 can you just give me 4 black CVs there just 4 and we just got to look at them just for just to balance and then bese wena inhlanhla ke lapho bese uthi untswemi kanti bese niyangena kwi-field of work nisebenze nonke bese in 2 months umlungu lodwa umfundisa umsebenzi bese eba iboss yakho abephinda abeyiboss yeboss that aphinda bese niphatha nonke engazi lutho udini uyafa la kodwa you won't do anything because you are trapped in poverty the day you resign here umuzi wakho uzodliwa ingane yakho izoxoshwa esikoleni imoto yakho izothatha so you're gonna enslave you until you are 60 and then you die
or you can start a YouTube channel.
Anyways, not everybody could start YouTube because Gunjari data South Africa is.
No, I'm kidding. Zakes,
my brother,
so
thank you very much, man, for having me.
Like, I feel like you got so much that you want to say, and we just scratched the surface, man. You
Yeah,
know what
man.
I mean?
I mean, yeah, bro. Like, there's a lot that we need. So I think for me, I challenge you, Saul. Now I make you. You know, at the end of the year, let us maybe. I'd like for us to come back and just recap what we've done. You know,
100%.
and just have
even with an audience,
and just a conversation. Maybe with that I would love, and we can engage with that audience.
100%.
That I would love to see, and then we can just talk about.
Because it starts here now, bro.
Yeah, then we talk about those things, bro. Like, I don't know how many people who told me, Guti, I wasn't going to amount to who I am today. And a lot of guys, and I think a lot of people, even my peers, I think they thought that I was going to be successful, but not successful more than them. You know what I mean? So some of my peers, awazange uyithatha lento kamnandi. Yabo, this ngomame to babona sebeqamba manga is the truth. It's what I'm going through when people are just, you know what I mean? Because sometimes like people are unable to accept, but we don't get successful for our own. We're successful because of our team. You know, to bless others. So I remember, you know, when I was like, yo, I want to go study Harvard. Oh, when I was in Mama.
Serious?
I was like, when I was Zakes, Harvard. I want to go to Zakes, Zakes, what's the sound to it?
Yeah.
And I'm exactly what I think I am, man. Like, I want to tell you, I'm exactly what I think I am. I'm going there, I'm going to be a Harvard graduate, and I'm going to have the biggest agents in Africa.
Fuck,
after me, even Sengaseko, it will be there. You know, I was looking at the story, McDonald's, the founder.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I saw that movie.
Crazy,
That asshole. He's a fucking asshole. And which is something that I hate also, because the evil works so hard and it brands itself so much, you know, that you sometimes think that you have to be an asshole to be successful. I'm sure you've heard this thing. You're not going to be successful when you are too nice.
Yes.
You know, as if like you have to have a heart of Satan for you to be successful, and it's a trap. You can successful and still be nice. It is a trap, and I know with these evil people who are successful are telling you that you are not gonna succeed if you have a beautiful heart. They are just fucking stupid and badlalanga and backtrapper, because in as much as they have so much money, they're still unhappy. Because my man, being wealthy is not about how much money you have, it's how much happiness you have and how many people that can still enjoy that particular happiness. So it's a trap. Go look at them when they are successful after driving their beautiful cars. They're at home alone. Nobody wants to be with them, because at the end of the day, they are assholes. They are known that they are assholes.
They're busy with their snakes there.
It doesn't matter. Even those who are not busy with that thing. That guy found that I was like, yo, this guy's such an asshole, man. Successful, yes, but asshole. How can you take somebody's name?
Hey, they screwed him over. The founder.
Joe, like the original shop. I said, no, you guys, Joe.
And Mas Pumalasi says South Africa, we're going to see McDonald's right here now.
Yeah, just here, Joe.
Just here.
You know what I mean? So these are things, man. And these movies are there, bro. And then someone maybe gets inspired by that movie. They say, hey, I want to be like that guy. That guy is an asshole. I don't want to be that guy, man. I want to be like those other guys that is screwed over with an ambition. But I don't want to be him. He's an asshole. I want to be those guys who founded McDonald's. You know, but I want to have, you know, the drive like him. It's only the drive that I want to take from him. I don't want to be him. He's a fucking asshole.
And on that note, this has been Podcasting Chill. We out here, man.
Thank you, man.
Peace.
Yeah.